Forget playing it safe, because mediocrity has been officially evicted from Seattle. I'm Matt Coleman, and I've got to ask you, do you have the stomach to go all in on a Super Bowl run right now, or are you cozy with just being good enough? Today, it's absolute warfare in the Emerald City. We have a mathematical shot at being the best team we've seen since 2019, but man, the price tag might be steep. A defensive icon is back from exile, a blue-collar fan favorite might be on the chopping block, and a $120 million rumor involving a division rival is about to shake the league to its core. The million-dollar question keeping me up at night is, are we truly ready to sell our souls for a ring? Stop whatever you're doing and go look in the mirror right now, because the person staring back at you might be witnessing history being rewritten in real time, and I swear I'm not hyping this up for nothing. It's hard to buy in, I get it. We've got that thick skin of veteran fans who've seen this movie start perfectly and end like a Greek tragedy. But the numbers don't lie, and they are screaming in our faces that these Seahawks could hit the most significant mark since that 2019 season if we take down the Vikings this Sunday. We're talking about going 9-3, a record that puts us on an elite shelf we haven't dusted off in a long time, back when title hopes were the standard, not the exception. But hold up, take a breath and check that hype at the door, because the muscle memory of heartbreak is still fresh in my mind, and I know it's in yours too. Who doesn't remember the bitter taste of 2019? We started 10-2, looked invincible, and then the wheels fell off. We dropped 3 of the last 4, and crashed out in the divisional round to the Packers in a game that still gives me nightmares. And 2020, that illusory 12-4 record that ended with the Rams humiliating us at home in the wild card, that hurt my soul, left some deep scars. The glaring difference now, and I need you to lock in on this, is the tactical substance of what we're seeing on the field under Mike Macdonald. Those past squads were smoke and mirrors, carried on the back of Russell Wilson having to pull rabbits out of a hat every single snap, while the defense, let's keep it 100, was a sieve that relied on luck. It was unsustainable, and we all had that sick feeling the bill was going to come due. Today, the atmosphere hits different. The air is thick with real electricity because McDonald's defense isn't built on big names. It's built on controlled violence. It bites, and it imposes a physical terror we haven't seen since the holy days of the Legion of Boom. And the offense? The Sam Darnold to Jackson Smith and Jigba connection isn't based on desperate improv. It's surgical execution and programmed lethality. It's the most insane transformation I've ever seen. Even with the injury report looking like a CVS receipt, the next man up mentality is keeping us alive. And isn't it ironic? With the Rams looking like the league's best, we're on a collision course again, but this time we actually have the ammo to fight back. Do you feel that solidity, or are you scared you're going to wake up from this dream? Sound off in the comments. The game against Minnesota is the classic trap game that knocks out distracted giants. But we need to make sure Lumen Field is an absolute cauldron to walk away with this W. But to keep this machine humming and survive this physical marathon without collapsing, the front office had to move fast in the last few hours, shuffling vital pieces and bringing back a face that carries the weight of 3 Pro Bowls just to save our hides. Do you guys believe in ghosts of the past or divine intervention when chaos hits? Because seeing Quandre Diggs' name back on the Seattle Seahawks active roster on the eve of a pivotal matchup makes me wonder if we stepped into a time machine or if the front office just pulled a massive rabbit out of the hat to save our season. That's right, the news that blindsided everyone and triggered that mix of nostalgia and instant relief was the elevation of Diggs and Velus Jones Jr. From the practice squad to face the Vikings, an emergency maneuver that smells like pragmatic genius. Let's be cold and analytical here. The reality of the injury room forced our hand, losing running back George Holani to IR with a serious hamstring issue, which hurts our depth bad, and officially signing Myles Gaskin to the 53 to plug that hole. But Diggs' return, that is the emotional earthquake of the week. We're talking about a guy who was the heart and soul of our secondary for 4.5 years. A vocal leader who went to 3 Pro Bowls wearing our colors and who understands the weight of this jersey like few others on this current roster. The situation was critical. With starter Julian Love out of commission and Ty Okada questionable with an oblique injury, our safety depth had completely evaporated. We were dangerously exposed, relying solely on Kobe Bryant and DeAnthony Bell. Bringing Diggs back isn't just a technical signing, it's a psychological injection of confidence. He comes in to provide immediate support, but deep down, we all know that if he steps on that field, the defense gains an elite brain, even if the body doesn't have the same athletic burst it did 5 years ago. Coach Mike McDonald, who isn't one for empty praise or playing to the crowd, said Diggs is up to speed and operating exactly as expected, which in his language means the guy is battle ready. And we can't sleep on the addition of Velus Jones Jr., who brings that electric volatility in the return game that can flip a tight contest, especially now that we need every weapon in the arsenal. It's a fascinating roster chess match where we're swapping injured youth for proven battle scars. I gotta confess, seeing Diggs back gives me a security blanket I didn't know I needed. It's like running into an old friend who knows exactly how to fix your problems. What about you, 12S? Do you feel safer with Diggs' experience patrolling the back end? Or do you think his age is going to be a liability against Minnesota's attack? I want your honest take in the comments. This move shows we're patching holes in the defense with high-grade cement. But while the defense loads up with old acquaintances, an explosive rumor has surfaced on offense involving $120 million and a division rival. Something that, if true, is going to make the ground shake in Seattle and San Francisco. Before I drop this bomb about the offense, help strengthen our huddle. Smash that subscribe button, it's free, and share this video with more fans. And get those fingers ready to type because this channel is your voice and your opinion is the fuel for this community. Now take a deep breath and hold on to something. I'm about to say something that might make you want to throw your phone at the wall or jump for joy, but this is a nuclear bomb that, if it detonates, will bring the entire league to its knees, begging for mercy, and shift the power axis of the NFC West. Imagine just for a second snatching one of the most lethal weapons from our arch rivals and putting him in blue and green at Lumen Field, creating an offense that would be borderline illegal. We are talking about an insane, delicious rumor linking the Seahawks to Brandon Ayuk, the $120 million star of the 49ers, and I know your knee-jerk reaction might be no way, but listen to the technical reasoning because it makes frightening sense. Look at our offensive reality today. Jackson Smith-Njigba isn't just good. The kid is an alien, leading the league in yards, but the stat that keeps me up at night is that he has almost 900 yards more than the second-place guy on our team and a 50-reception lead. That is unsustainable long-term. It's inhumane and tactically suicidal to ask him to carry the whole load alone because defenses are going to double-team him until they suffocate our offense in the playoffs. We need elite help desperately, and that's where the absolute chaos in San Francisco comes in. The relationship between Ayuk and the Niners has soured completely. It's open warfare with 2026 contract guarantees voided, public spats over rehab, and a toxic vibe pointing to an imminent cut so they can save $30 million. And here's the tactical kicker. Guess who was there in 2023 when Ayuk had the best year of his career? Our coordinator Clint Kubiak and our quarterback Sam Darnold. The chemistry is already there. The system is familiar. And according to analysts, it would be a dream match. I get goosebumps and a nervous grin just imagining a healthy Ayuk with a chip on his shoulder, wanting revenge against his ex-team, running routes opposite JSN. It would be a nightmare for any defensive coordinator. Sure, it's a massive financial and medical risk. Will his knee hold up? Is his head in the right place? But John Schneider lives for these high-stakes gambles. And if a golden opportunity pops up to snag a talent like that, we have to strike without mercy. It's the kind of aggressive move that separates the nice teams from the Super Bowl champs. So, would you be willing to sleep with the enemy to hoist the trophy? This possibility is fascinating, but the NFL is a cruel, ruthless cycle of renewal. And while we dream of a shiny new star arriving, the cold reality of numbers and declining performance might be about to end the run of a silent warrior who stole our hearts with grit, but now seems to have outlived his usefulness. It breaks my heart and puts a lump in my throat to have to say this out loud, but loyalty in the NFL is a pretty lie we tell ourselves. And the cold guillotine of the business side is about to come down on the neck of one of our favorites. It hurts the soul because we love the underdog, the undrafted guy grinding in the mud to earn his spot. But the naked truth is that the Jake Bobo fairy tale in Seattle is on life support, and the prognosis, sadly, is terminal. Mike McDonald and John Schneider turned this roster into a competitive machine, bagging 10 wins last season. But success comes with a steep price tag, and the bill is due next offseason. We've got brutal, unavoidable financial decisions coming up with young stars like Kenneth Walker, Rick Woolen, and Boy Maffei needing massive extensions. And in this zero-sum game, there is no room for cheap sentimentality. Bobo, who weirdly feels like an established veteran on this ultra-young squad, has turned into a statistical ghost. Let's look at the unforgiving numbers that justify this technical angst. This season, the guy has a measly 2 targets. Yeah, you heard that right. The ball went his way only twice all year. He caught both for 20 yards, sure, but 0 touchdowns and a terrifying offensive irrelevance that doesn't match the explosive attack we're building. His snap count has plummeted drastically from 18 to 11 per game, and the nail in the coffin is that the argument of, oh, but he's vital on special teams, has collapsed in embarrassing fashion. In 7 games, he committed 3 stupid penalties that killed drives and field position. That is unacceptable for a specialist. He only made 1 tackle in Week 12 against the Titans. The production is completely dried up. I love his positive energy. The locker room loves him. The crowd used to scream more Bobo with passion, but we need speed. We need separation. And Bobo is a diesel truck in a Formula One race. With Jackson Smith-Njigba getting overworked, we need guys who can stretch the field vertically. Look at the immediate future. Cooper Kupp is under contract for 2026. Rashid Shaheed will be free on the market. Rookie Torrey Horton showed electric flashes despite the injuries. The profile of the modern receiver demands explosion, and Bobo unfortunately got left behind in that tactical evolution. Seeing him in another jersey is going to be weird, it's going to sting the memory bank, but the NFL is a cruel business and the exit door is wide open for him as a free agent. It's the end of a cult era, but maybe it's the necessary beginning of a more lethal offense. And it's exactly about this fine, dangerous line between fan emotion and the coldness needed to win that we need to talk about in the close. Because when you weigh the optimism of records, the return of idols, and the painful goodbyes, a disturbing question hangs in the air about our real identity. Adding up the emotional return of Diggs to the historic chance of hitting 9-3, the message for tomorrow's game against the Vikings is singular. This team is ready for greatness. The growing pains and the bold rumors just prove that the front office won't accept anything less than a Super Bowl, and that winning mentality has finally infected the locker room. Forget the doubts, 12 seconds, because Lumen Field needs to shake like the old days to push this hungry defense. Do you believe we're going to run over Minnesota and stamp our ticket as title contenders? Leave your war cry in the comments and subscribe, because our march to glory restarts right now.